Okay, we are going to find out a little bit about what Excel can do for us and how it can save us some time and some work. So, first we're going to go to A6 and we're going to type in 8 o'clock. 8 colon, and the colon key is next to the L key, and you need to hold down shift. If you don't hold down shift, you get a semicolon. And then 0, 0. Make sure you use zeros and not the letter O. Okay, and then come down to A7 and we're going to type in 8 colon 10. And we're going to come down to A8 and type in 8 colon 20. Let's do one more. We come down to A9 and type in 8 colon 30. Alright, so now we've set up a pattern here, and we can tell that we're going in 10-minute intervals, 10-minute increments of time. And to save ourselves an awful lot of time of typing in the next time, which would be 8:40 and 8:50 and 9 o'clock, we can have Excel do this for us. And what we do is we select the pattern. So we select all 4 cells that establish the pattern, and that's usually the step that people forget to do. And then notice this little thickening right there at the corner, that little box right there. We can grab a hold of that box. That's called the fill box. And we're going to drag this down to row 24. And if we've done this correctly, it's going to fill in the rest of that pattern for us. Boom. Okay, so it just saved us an awful lot of time, and it did it correctly. Okay, all right. So you notice that the pattern is repeated from 8 o'clock. The last one that we put in at 8:30 all the way down to 11 o'clock. We're going to type another one. We're going to go to C6. We're going to type in Jan for January, Feb for February, and Mar, because we're going with abbreviations. It's important that you keep consistent when you're establishing your pattern for Excel. Okay, and we're going to select the pattern. That's the part that people forget to do, and we're going to drag this pattern down to row 17. And notice that it filled in the rest of the months and used their abbreviations. I'm going to go over to E6 and type Sun. Come down to E7 and type Mon for Monday. And let's go ahead and do one more, TUE for Tuesday. Okay, select a pattern. And we're going to drag this little fill box down to row 19. And notice that it filled in all the rest of those and then repeated when it got through Saturday. It knew to repeat to Sunday. Here's another thing that Excel can do. It's not just able to recognize patterns of common things that we would know. If you put in any pattern, like your chores, like if you mow the yard, and then you also wash the dishes, and then you take out the trash, and then next week you do the same 3 things, it will repeat basically any pattern that you tell it to repeat. We're going to pull this down to row 23 here. Mow, wash, trash, mow, wash, trash, mow, wash. Okay, so it's very good about just taking exactly what the pattern was and repeating that. It'll also, by the way, repeat colors. If you want to fill that one with yellow and fill that one with orange, and maybe fill this one with red, and maybe this one goes blue, you can select that pattern and pull that down, and it will repeat that pattern. Okay. Now there's one other thing that we need to know for this lesson and for future lessons. We are going to type in just a series of numbers, and we want to format all of these numbers to actually be currency. Okay, so you have to always tell Excel what information you want to change. You have to select that information and then say, okay, now change it to this. So we're going to select those numbers, and we're going to go to Format. We're going to format the cells, and notice that there's number, alignment, font, border, patterns, protection. We're going to go to number, and we're going to format these cells to be currency right there. So it's going to add a $, a decimal point, and 0, 0. Boom. So it saved us the time of adding $5, 5 decimal points, and 10 zeros. That's going to be very helpful when we get into future lessons where we're involving money and budgets. Okay, so then it says type your first name and last name in A1. Always please read all the instructions. And save it in your documents as last name lists. So I would click on the circle and do save as Fletcher lists. Then save it again, please, on the drop drive. Awesome.